Report an aircraft crash 3 miles northwest of St. Pete Airport. The aircraft crashed hard and is in flames.
First tonight, new details about the deadly plane crash we first brought you as breaking news last night. Here's what we know at this hour. 3 people were killed in that crash, 2 of them inside a mobile home. The other victim is the pilot of the single-engine plane. FlightAware shows the Beechcraft Bonanza passed over the Clearwater Air Park, the location where the pilot was supposed to make an emergency landing. NTSB and FAA investigators arrived today. They are working to determine the cause of that crash. And this is Nightside. I'm Dave Wagner. Carolina's on assignment tonight. Within the next 24 hours, the NTSB is expected to remove the wreckage from the mobile home community. And 10 Tampa Bay's Hannah Deneen has been at the Bayside Waters mobile home park all night long. Hannah, investigators are trying to piece together what happened.
Yes, Dave, investigators were on the scene of the crash all day today and tomorrow. According to Clearwater Fire Rescue, they're going to remove that small plane. They're expected to and take it to a secure facility for further analysis. Neighbors here, meanwhile, tell me they are devastated over the 3 lives lost, but say this could have been so much worse.
24 hours later, a scene still smoldering.
It's gonna be hard to get over, you know what I mean?
And neighbors still in shock after a small plane crashed into a mobile home, killing the pilot and 2 people inside the home.
You would have never known there was a mobile home there. It was just so involved in fire. Everything was melted away, was gone.
We've now learned the woman, who neighbors say was renting the home, had been hosting friends earlier yesterday evening.
Yeah, they were having a get together and all that and a cookout.
But minutes before the crash, residents tell us at least 8 people left the home.
I'm losing engine.
Flight records show minutes before the crash, the plane passed over Clearwater Air Park, according to FlightAware, the location where he was supposed to land.
It came parallel to this runway.
Kurt Erickson is a mechanic and pilot himself.
He was gaining airspeed, gaining altitude.
Right. Who says the air park is an uncontrolled air park, meaning it's up to the pilot to remotely turn on the runway lights at night. Without them, he says it's near impossible to see.
Landing here is like landing in a black hole at night.
Aviation expert Mark Weinkrantz says the plane involved, a 1979 single-engine Bonanza, is known to be complex.
It's always been known to be a more challenging airplane to fly.
The NTSB says they'll release a report of preliminary findings in 30 days, but the full report could take up to 2 years to complete.
There's a lot of details involved. They'll examine every nut and bolt that they find and reassemble the airplane as best they can and dig into the history as best they can as well.
Now back here at the park, I reached out to the managers of Bayside Waters, the 55 and older community at the center of this tragedy. They did not respond to our request for comment, but I did receive the email through a resident here that they sent out to all the residents, and they say they are extremely grateful to first responders for limiting the potential impact of not only this crash, but the fire that resulted. The residents here tell me that once that the wreckage is cleaned up, they hope to hold a remembrance ceremony for those who lost their lives here.
You know, Hannah, looking at the wreckage here is certainly terrifying, but deadly plane crashes like this one are certainly rare.
Yes, Dave, and we did some digging, and there have been 3 fatal plane crashes in our viewing area in the last 2 years, but there was no common ground among those plane crashes in terms of types of plane, where they happened, even time of year or weather. In Clearwater, Hannah Deneen, 10 Tampa Bay.
We're also diving deeper into the particular kind of plane that crashed, which has a long history in aviation, is beloved by many around the country. Within the last 30 minutes, 10 Tampa Bay's Chris Hurst talked with a Beechcraft Bonanza mechanic and flight instructor to learn more about this. Chris?
Yeah, Dave, the Beechcraft Bonanza is a high-performance aircraft and was first introduced in 1947. In fact, it's the plane that crashed carrying Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper. On the infamous day the music died. In today's time, it's still a very popular plane, and as you just heard, it's known for its high performance and agility. Sarasota Bonanza mechanic and flight instructor John Cronley told me tonight that they need to make sure that pilots are fully trained when operating this aircraft.
The Bonanza is high performance and complex.
It requires additional training and sign off by a flight instructor to fly a high performance aircraft, which is a plane that's more than 200 horsepower, which the Bonanzas are typically 285 or 300 horsepower.
Think of it like a sports car, but up in the air. Now, Cronley went on to tell me that based on early information like those eyewitness reports and flight audio recordings, engine failure may have contributed to the crash. Dave, when that happens, pilots rely on their training, which is to maintain correct airspeed, look for the best place to make an emergency landing, and then go through their checklists to troubleshoot the problem. In the studio, Chris Hurst, 10 Tampa Bay.
Investigators may get to the bottom of this, but it's going to take a while, months, maybe even more than a year. This is a developing story, and our crews will be on site tomorrow morning to track the expected removal of the plane. As we learn more, we'll bring you updates on air and online.